What's up, BF fam? This is Big Tone coming at you from Big Tone Productions Beats and Feasts. Hey guys, it's Friday. What does that mean? It's time for another cooking video. Hey guys, today we're going to be doing one of my old favorite cuts of meats, beef shank. But before we even get started on the video, you know how I get down. Go ahead and smack that like button, comment on the video, and subscribe, guys. And by the way, I want to thank everybody for getting me to one of my milestones in this YouTube thing, and that was 10,000 views. I really appreciate it, and I did work hard to get there, so let's keep working hard, and I appreciate all the support, guys. But let's get started on beef shank. So here's the supporting cast for this. It's very simple. I'm going to let the meat speak for itself, but it's going to be just, of course, my pink Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, lye seasoning salt. This is just regular minced garlic. I'm using a little bit of just regular vegetable oil, and then I'm using beef broth. And then I'm going to throw in some, this is nothing but just potatoes here, cut up. And then I got my carrots and onions. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'll show them to you. And of course, we got the star of the show, the beef shank. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go on into this here. So basically, the only seasoning we're putting on this is really just salt, pepper, and Lowry seasoning salt. We're gonna put the garlic in the pressure cooker later. But we're gonna go ahead and season up these, and then we're gonna get them started. Before I do, I'm gonna put a little bit of my vegetable oil in my pan here, because we're gonna sear these off and let this get hot. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that this gets hot super quick. So I'm using the Copper Chef Pro and the induction heat oven here. And then I'm also using the power pressure cooker. And I'll tell you about that a little bit more, but these are two of my best friends in the kitchen, guys. But we're gonna season this up. So it's very simple. I've got 6 beef shanks here, but I've already seasoned some of them. So we're gonna go ahead and do the last 2. And we're just gonna put my little pink Himalayan sea salt here. Nice little dose of salt. If you guys don't know much about these, this is a tough cut of meat. I mean, it comes from the shank area of the leg of the cow. So the muscles being used quite a bit. So muscles that are used a lot tend to be a lot tougher. So they need braising, they need broken down. So usually a long cook time. But for me, I am just going to cheat a little bit and use my power pressure cooker. That's my long cook time. So these are going to cook about 45 minutes in the power pressure cooker. I think most recipes call for like 30, 35 minutes. I'm going to put a little extra time on it. So I forgot my seasoning salt. So I put my salt and pepper on it. Now I'm putting my seasoning salt. Then I'm simply going to flip these over. These are nice and thick pieces. A lot of people back in the day used to use these to flavor soup, vegetable beef soup or whatever soup they wanted, you know. So they've gotten, you know, I don't know if they've been forgotten about, but, and a lot of people call this, what do they call it? Osso Bucco, which I think more of is an Italian term. And they do a little bit different kind of, not necessarily different braising, but they use the tomato sauce a lot. But this is gonna be straight hood Osso Bucco. But anyway, this is my version of Osso Bucco, but I call it beef shank, guys. So I've got my seasoning on here, and I've got my skillet hot. So all I'm gonna do is place them in the Copper Chef Pro. As you can hear it, starts to sear right away. We're gonna get a nice sear on it. And I'm put about 3 of them in at a time. I don't want to overcrowd it. Let me get a smaller one because it'll be too much. We're gonna get a nice sear on this. All right, guys, so I wanted to give you a little pointer when you're searing your pork chops, or whether it be your beef shanks or whatever it may be. But if you're searing something off, when you put it in the skillet, excuse me, guys, when you put it in the skillet, let it sit there, because then everything underneath gets caramelized, and if you try to move it too soon, it's going to stick. So that's an important part of searing. Let it sit there, you know, for a few minutes, 2 to 3, maybe 5 minutes, and then flip it over, and you'll see how much easier it is to get a good sear on it. Your skillet's got to be hot. But I just wanted to make that point right away because I forgot to do it when I started searing my other meat off. But yeah, just go ahead and let it sit there. Don't mess with it. A lot of people have a habit of putting it in there, and 30 seconds later they start messing with it. Let it do its job. I've seared off all the shanks here, and as you can see, we don't want to cook these. We just want to sear them to get that nice caramelization on the outside. So now it's the most simplest step ever. All we're gonna do is put it in my Power Pressure Cooker XL here, guys. This has been my friend for a long time this year. It's done wonders on food, especially on tough cuts of meat, like a shank. Because, you know, as I said earlier, this is a muscle that is used all the time on the cow. So it tends to be tough, and the pressure cooker does a great job of breaking that down. So we're just gonna simply put it in the pressure cooker. I'm gonna start with my biggest pieces first here and put them on the bottom. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna start with my onion. I'm gonna put my onion on the bottom here. So I'm just gonna throw my onion in here. I got my onion mixed up with my carrots, so bear with me just a moment. This is one whole onion, by the way, just roughly cut up, just to give it some aromatics here, okay? All right, so that's good for the most part. Set this aside, and then we're just gonna start with the largest shank. We're gonna put that in the bottom. Here's my other large one here. And we're gonna put this in the bottom. And then we're gonna put the other ones around it. I got my onions in there. As you can see, the pressure cooker is getting full. So, and I've got 6 of them here, so it takes a lot. Now that meat is very, very tough. I can feel it as I'm sticking the fork in every time. But we're gonna loosen it up here, guys. I'm gonna add also about, probably about 2 tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic. We're just gonna add that there. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I love my garlic. All right, guys. The next thing and the last thing that we're gonna add is beef broth. We're gonna add probably about, I would say probably almost a whole container of this, 32 ounces. So we're just gonna add that around there. This isn't a full one. This is probably about a quarter of the way full. That's why I brought 2 of them in here to film with. First one there, and then we're just gonna add the second one. Not all of it, probably about half. There we go. So I've got my garlic, I've got my beef shanks, and I've got my beef broth in there. Next thing is very simple, as I always do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the lid to it, to the pressure cooker, very simply. All right, and then we're just gonna simply line up the line and the arrow on the relief valve here, or the pressure valve, I should say. Now I'm gonna put this on for about 30 minutes. Now let's make it 35. So I'm gonna hit the meat chicken button, increment it to high, and then I'm gonna bring it down to about 35 minutes. Quick change of mind. I'm gonna do it for 40 minutes. And then I'm gonna come back and check it and see how tender it is or how much more I have to go. As you can see, it's going around. That's when it's starting to build pressure. And it does that for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then it starts to really cook. But I'll come back and I'll check and see how tender it is. And then if I need to put it on for a little bit longer, I will. If not, then we're ready to go with the sides and have a finished product. All right, BF fam, so I'm back. It's been about 40 minutes and I've already taken the lid off, released the pressure. I did a little taste test off camera. It's wonderful. Fall apart tender. So now I'm just gonna add my root vegetables. So first thing I'm gonna add is my carrots here, and I just got about 4 carrots cut up. I'm just gonna add that to the mixture. And then I'm gonna add the potatoes. Now I have water on these potatoes, so I'm gonna drain the water off here if I don't make a mess. So drain off all the water. I just did that to keep them from turning brown, guys. So then I'm simply just gonna add the potatoes on top. And we're gonna put the lid back on and I'm gonna let them cook for about another 8 to 10 minutes. and we'll come back with a finished product, guys. All right, guys, so I'm back. It's been about 10 minutes. I'll let the vegetables go for about 10 minutes. As you can see, this is more than a perfection on the plate. This is probably, if you want to compare it to some most tender roast that you've ever had, it's absolutely melt in your mouth. Hey, guys, this is beyond my expectations with this. This is the first time I've done it with the power pressure cooker. And I got a little corn pudding here with my potatoes and carrots, and then a little side salad, which is a cucumber and tomato and onion little Italian type salad. But anyway, guys, it's wonderful. I'm gonna take a little bite so you can see how tender it is. Let me pull up my let me get my stuff here. So I really don't even need the knife. If you look at this, it's absolutely tender. I mean, I don't even need the knife. Oh, man. Hey, you guys need to try this at home. If you got a pressure cooker, if you don't, you can do it in a slow cooker. It's fine. It's just going to take a little bit longer. This is absolutely out of this world. Hey, guys, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Help me grow this channel to numbers that I would never, ever believe of. But hey, guys, this is Big Tone signing off. Peace.